Yeah, can you hear me first, Anand?
Loud and clear, loud and clear. Very nice.
Oh, yes. So thank you, Anand, and VRSA for this great opportunity. So can it be full screen, the video?
Yes, it is running, Padmaja.
Okay, so it's a 36-year. I'm describing a case of 36-year-old gentleman who came with a gradual, progressive, painless loss of vision in both eyes, and his anti-segment examination was unremarkable. And fundus showed an X-ray to retinal detachment, bullous with a prominent ora in both eyes. And axial length was actually normal, and his ultrasound showed a choroidal thickening, and functional angiogram did not show any leak. And with this picture in mind, he was actually diagnosed elsewhere as activated detachment and was started on oral steroids.
Padmaja, can you be louder?
He was started on oral steroids with which, can you hear much better?
Yes.
Yeah, so oral steroids, and with which he actually worsened. So then we expected that this could be an uveal type 2 type of uveal effusion syndrome with normal axial length and thick sclera, and we planned a surgical approach. So surgical approach was a 4-quadrant partial sclerectomy under anti-chamber maintained assisted subretinal fluid drainage. So I made a 360-degree peritomy and 4-quadrant partial 4 into 4 mm thickness, partial thickness scleral bed was dissected in each quadrant, and the dissected scleral bed was actually excised. And this was done in all 4 quadrants. And this after the scleral thick, one can see that the antechamber maintainer was kept actually in the same quadrant where I was planning to do the subretinal fluid drainage in order to prevent any inadvertent lens touch. And in the same quadrant, in the infratemporal quadrant, we made another small deep scleral tissue dissection, and with 70 Vicryl after making choroidal exposure, then the subretinal fluid was actually drained. And with this, the complete fluid could be drained, and this procedure was repeated in both eyes at a 1-week interval, and we could see the resolution of the exudative detachment on the table itself. And on the first post-op day, there was complete resolution of the postoperative detachment in both eyes, and autofluorescence picture actually showing characteristic leopard pattern with RP focal thickening seen under the OCT in both eyes. He is maintaining 20/25 N6 vision at 1 year follow-up without any recurrence of uveal effusion. So my next video is I'm going to have different spectrums. So this is an ocular cysticercosis case managed by actually Abhilasha Alone, our fellow, under mentorship of Divya Balakrishnan. This is a cysticercosis which was an intravitreal location. So we see actually intravitreal location of the cysticercosis almost 60% of the cases, and subretinal will be usually in 40%. And after doing PVD induction and the cyst peripheral vitreous base excision and shaving, and thorough vitrectomy was done peripherally and also around the vitreous, all the attachment. And this you can see actually the sign of the peripheral entry of the cyst, where the possible retinal break in the periphery. And after that, a sclerotomy was actually extended with MVR blade to engage, to remove aid the removal of the cyst. And the cyst can be actually engaged with the flute needle, or can be with the cryoprobe, or can be eaten in the cutter if any rupture. Here we have used the flute needle to engage the cyst, and during process of the removal, the pressure was raised to 60 millimeters. So what happened was, while just coming out, actually at the end, after coming out, the cyst got ruptured, and the scolex was actually can be seen. And this because of the toxic products actually can be eliminated by the wash of the products itself. And then endo laser was done around the possible break site, and fluid air exchange was done. So this is this patient actually maintained a good recovered a good visual acuity of 20/100 at 1 week. Then this is the third video, is about a type of uveitic detachment, which is particularly, that is acute retinal necrosis. The important feature here is abnormal vitreoretinal adhesion and thick cortical vitreous, which will be adherent to underlying thin atrophic retina. And the important challenge here will be the peripheral, the posterior retinal breaks, which will be very thin and also in the periphery, we will be seeing actually a necrotic sieve-like retina. So this is where the importance will be in terms of after doing a good cortical vitreous removal, one can actually use perfluorocarbon tamponade and can actually achieve good functional outcomes. In our in-house series, when we have used pre-op valsaclovir and steroids, they actually prevented retinal detachment. Retinal attachment rate was better in these cases of acute retinal necrosis. Next video. So you can observe that sieve-like retina, which will be the characteristic feature of these acute retinal necrosis detachments. This is a very interesting case which has come from our Vizag LVPI team managed by Dr. Bhavik Panchal, which is a nematode live motile large worm in the eye, which causing a diffuse unilateral subacute neuroretinitis. The patient came with disc edema, macular edema, and yellow crops in the posterior pole. And you can see the worm movement very nicely with the actually fundus camera captured with the screen. And one can actually, sometimes these patients can have cutaneous larva migrants. And this, when you see a live worm, is usually found only in 30 to 40% of cases of DUSN. And the outer retina, you can see in octa, in actually a hyperreflective dot when it is worm is mobile. And the Pascal laser photocoagulation was actually done at the head end and as well as the tail end of the worm to mobilize and then do the laser barrage completely. So this resulted in mobilize and along with antihelminthic agents. So one can observe that actually around 1 week the worm was still there, but around 2 weeks, so go back. No. Yeah, at 2 weeks, actually, the worm actually completely disappeared. So, and at the end of the 6 weeks, actually, he reached. He recovered complete visual acuity. So along with the laser photocoagulation of a motile form and steroids and corticosteroids and antihelminths play a very important role in management of this nematode retinopathy. Next. And the last video is a peculiar situation which we can see is an endophthalmitis with retinal detachment. This is a child with a congenital glaucoma who had a actually injury and then therapeutic PK and then post and also endophthalmitis. And one can see in this endophthalmitis cases, what you see is an important problem is the medial haze and also the perfluorocarbon here can also help in actually improving the clarity and also keeping the retina keep in place, and one can actually do a 360 degrees retinal detachment. So the media haze plays a very important role, and the thick peripheral exudates and underlying attachments in the periphery one need to actually take care, and sometimes we have to go for this 360 degree retinectomy in these patients, especially when you are having with endophthalmitis with retinal detachment. Thank you.